Hey, good morning, students. This is Mr. Short coming to you Monday, February 1st. This is actually our fifth week of school, fifth week of this semester, and fifth week of my class for you guys. We're actually going to be doing our 4-week review. So this week we're actually going to review the first 4 weeks of class, and we're going to talk about the things that we learned in each module, as well as take our 4-week quiz. Okay. So when you log in, you'll be watching this message right here under February 1st, message from Mr. Short. Once you complete this message, you'll go to your 4-week review. And this is actually what we're going to be going over in class. So for our Cohort A and Cohort B students, this is what we'll be reviewing in class. For my remote students, I would go back through and go through the first 4 modules, would review those carefully. But here is just a snapshot of what you're going to be seeing on your quiz this week, okay? The first thing we talked about was what is a problem and defining a problem, okay? You need to understand that a problem is something that can be fixed or improved. Something that can be fixed or improved is our definition of a problem. Number 2, the 4 steps of the problem-solving process. Okay, we learned that if you want to start solving problems, the first thing you have to do, you have to determine what the problem is. So that is the first step, is define the problem. The second step in the problem-solving process is to prepare. And we prepare by brainstorming, by talking with other people, by looking at similar problems and how those problems were solved. Okay, so that's the prepare stage. The third step in the problem-solving process we learned, this is way back a couple weeks ago, we learned was the try. We want to try whatever solution we came up with in the prepare stage or in the second step. Okay, that's when we try our solution. And the 4th step is to reflect. Remember we talked about when we look in the mirror. Okay, what's looking back at us? Our reflection. So we learned that to reflect means to look back. To look back and to try to understand what it was that we wanted to solve, so defining the problem, how we went about preparing to solve the problem, and what happened when we tried to solve the problem. Was it successful? Was it not successful? Were there parts of it that was successful and other parts that maybe we could have done something a little differently or done something better? Okay, that's what we do in the reflect step. Now, the 4th step is not necessarily the final step, okay? If we don't get our problem solved in the way that we would like it to be solved, or it doesn't really seem successful, then we will take that reflect stage and we will go back to step number 2, okay, which is prepare again. And we'll take the information we learned in steps 2, 3, and 4, and we'll try and improve upon that, okay? Now, we're not going back to 1 because our original problem is still our problem. We've defined that problem, okay? Now, we may fine-tune the way that we try to solve that problem in steps 2, 3, and 4, but the problem itself is not changing. Okay. All right. The third thing we learned about was a computer is a machine that processes information. We spent a lot of time in class talking about the different types of computers. It's not just your Chromebook or a laptop. Okay. There's computers and all kind of devices and technologies that we use every day. A smartwatch, a cell phone. There's all kind of computers. So a computer is a machine that processes information. The next thing, the 4th thing we learned about was the 4 parts of a computer. Okay, there's 4 things that make up a computer. First thing is input. An input is any device or component that allows information to be given to a computer. Any device or component that allows information to be given to a computer. And we talked about some of the types of input devices are keyboards and mouses and microphones. The second part of a computer is outputs. Any device or component that receives information from a computer. Okay, it receives information from a computer to produce the output. Examples of those would be a printer or speakers or even the screen on your Chromebook or the screen on your cell phone. The third part of a computer is process. Process is the work done by the computer to turn an input into an output. Okay, so you're taking the input, the typing into a computer, the speaking to a computer, and you're processing it, and you're creating an output. You're creating words on the screen, something coming out of a printer, music coming out of speakers, things like that. And the fourth step, or the fourth part of a computer, is storage, the act of a computer storing something for future use. Okay? And we talked about how with cell phones and laptops and MacBooks and things like that, how they can a lot of the times look the exact same, but they cost a lot different, from being really cheap to really expensive. And the two things that really account for that difference in price is how quickly a computer processes and the amount of storage that a computer has. Okay, so processing and storage are the things that really differentiate cell phones and computers. And the fifth thing we learned about was algorithm. An algorithm is a series of commands a computer uses to process information. Algorithm is a series of commands that a computer uses to process information. Okay. Now, these are the key things that we learned from the first 4 weeks of class, okay? This is just a snapshot of it. I would go back and kind of review through those first 4 modules in preparing for our quiz this week. Okay, remote students, you can take this quiz whenever you want to this week. It's up to you as long as you get it done by the end of the week. Cohort A, we will review on Monday, today, February 1st. And you guys will take your quiz tomorrow, February 2nd. Cohort B, we will review on Thursday, and you will take your quiz on Friday. Okay. As always, if you guys have any questions, if you need me for anything, you can always shoot me a message in Canvas, or you can always email me. I'm always available for you. So if you have any questions or need anything from me, just shoot me an email or shoot me a message, and I will get back to you just as soon as I see it. All right, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.